Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome back to another review. It's Monday, December 28th. I did have a couple days off, took some time off. Now, kind of back into the markets here. Took it decently slow, but quite a bit of action still. SPY gapping up here, and I had this level on the daily resistance, support, resistance, and it did exactly as I planned. Didn't trade it unfortunately, but it did have a nice hold here throughout the day, and then pushed up. I actually was a little late to the market today. My sleeping routine hasn't been very good over the last couple of days, so it's just kind of catching up. Nonetheless, let's take a look at what happened. So the first one was BTBT. Was looking for a climactic reversal here. It wasn't getting too parabolic, but we still are up nicely on the day. And then we get this indecision towards the high of day into the $10 level right there. And then after a couple of indecisions, we start breaking down on some, not crazy volume, but considering throughout the rest of the day, I thought this could potentially flush into VWAP. I get short as we break that level, and then we start coming back up. I didn't like this bottom wick here. Thought we could potentially get bought up and then push, so I took half off here. Then it continued down, did flush through, and this was actually my first target at 901, round dollar number, so I thought we could get bought up. Instead of taking that, since I only had half size, I did adjust it to here, and then we kind of came back up. I thought of actually adding on this one off that rejection, but I didn't like the sell through here, so then I actually ended up covering into the break. Ended up being a good cover, and then we get this indecision again. So now we have quite a bit higher volume. This could have been some covering, and then this could have been some final profit taking. So then what I did is I actually waited for another drop. Once again, this time we try to bounce, fail to bounce, so I get short, and then we kind of do nothing for a little while. We do nothing for a little while. We tried to test this level. My stop was just above it. Almost got stopped out. But then we came back down. And then as we make this higher low, I decided to add. Not a great add. I would prefer waiting for a better confirmation. Maybe right here or right here. We also did have this trend, so I didn't want to. I guess that's kind of what I was getting in at, but I should be getting in on the slower high confirmation rather than the breakdown. Anyways, we come through, and then I just start covering into this level and took it all off. Probably should have kept a little bit on to the VWAP, but got all out there. Overall, not great. This mismanaged would have been taking partials here, and then would have taken this off again. Here could be adding a little bit better spot there, fighting for the price. DPW, let's take a look here. So we are getting pretty parabolic as well as climactic. We have this igniting volume, which has a strong push through VWAP, pushes to high of day, low volume pullback, and then pushes to make new highs. I was looking at a couple of levels up here towards the higher side. We didn't get quite up there, so I did see this indecision doji stuff at high of day, and that's a sign for me to get short. One thing I didn't account for is look at the volume, right? So we're not really even above 2 times average. I like to be quite a bit higher than average. This igniting was definitely the highest today, and maybe if we matched it, that could have been a short signal. But I went just off the candle, and obviously that's not enough. We push through high of day. I cover. I'm happy with this cover at high of day. I'm always getting out. Then come back and test high of day again. There was a potentially entry, for this trendline break, but that's a hard candle to catch. Yeah, that was it on that one. Let's take a look at EQOS. EQOS was coming in, and we did have some climactic volume here, rejected a level, and then started to push back down. So I was looking for the exact same thing to see if we could have maybe some climactic volume rejection here. We get these two candles. However, I do like when it pushes up and then stuffs right back down in one candle. This was definitely indecision, but it didn't give me a clean entry, although I did end up shorting as we kind of consolidated near the highs. And what I notice is when we do consolidate, my entries tend not to be the best, just because there's a little bit of support there that people buy up. There's also support right here. There's a couple of different support areas to play off of. So I got stopped out high of day, and then as soon as I got stopped out, the volume increased on selling, and it was a fake high of day. And then, as I mentioned, we get that push, and then it stuffs and closes red. So that's my short signal. Held that support, but then as soon as we broke on that third candle, I got short, and then just started covering. This one I did end up covering a little too quick. However, I did have this level here that I wanted to cover into. My next level was actually right here, and then I was eyeing this level in VWAP. Let's take a look how I played it out. Didn't do a great job. The first flush got to my target, and then we were kind of coming here, and at this point I started micromanaging. I started drawing trend lines, it could potentially hold, and then I got some bottom wicks here, so I thought, I'm going to take a little bit more off. We are pretty extended, but we're still on the front side, so let me pay myself. Take a little bit more off. We reject off that level nicely, which would be a short signal, and then push down. So here, it almost got to my stop. I was at 1552 or 1551. However, I did notice this congestion zone, so I thought, as we sold off and then bought right back up, I actually just took the rest off. I thought, this could be the final push here, although there was no climactic or bottoming sign on the volume side. I didn't want to, get greedy, especially off of a nice flush here. And then it actually ended up going to my profit target, and it gave a couple of entry signals here, but I was done after that one. So overall, a couple things I'm very happy with is getting right back in after getting stopped out here. Like I said, stop high of day, you got to respect your stops, and then came back down and gave me another entry, so I took a standalone trade there. Happy with that. Macy's was a little difficult today. It was pushing up into high of day, and this short float is quite high. I believe it was about 34%, and this was my fault. I actually didn't look at the stats before getting in, and then kind of took a peek in hindsight and realized it's quite a high short float. But one thing I did like here is this extreme volume coming in. I actually had this on my secondary watch, kind of on the far computer. Wasn't watching the monitor really, and then I saw this extreme volume, and I thought, okay, this could be an opportunity. We rejected, and then as it started breaking down, I got short, and I did have this kind of level of high of day range, so I was looking to cover into the flush. Got into that first level, so covered there. My next idea was taking a little bit more off into here, and then if we did get below VWAP, that would be the final target. So I took that first one off, and then we come back up, get a little bit of some decent buying volume, and then high of day rejection and flush. So this is a great spot to be adding again. Didn't add and kind of waited for it to come down. At this point, I was watching this trend, and then we had a couple of double bottoms that looked like here, right around that level, and started pushing up. So I just took a little bit more off just to lock in a little bit more profits. And then as we started coming back here, we broke through, came back, bottom wicked, and then started pushing up. So I thought this definitely had potential to continue going up. So I just took the rest off there. Probably should have held a little bit more on. And then we rejected that level again, came back down, and then this would be a great spot to re-short. As we break through, we get this rejection of push up. That could be another short as well. And then as we start kind of breaking this flag, could have taken a short for the flush. Didn't end up doing that, just kind of forgot about it after that trade. Last one was SOL. This one was interesting. I was watching this. I just got Bookmap, and we had quite a bit of selling pressure around 1250 and 1260 and 1255. So there was tons of offers here. We did break through 1250, and then the 1260 I think actually stepped down into 1255. So there was just this was 1270, 1255, and then I just watched it bounce off 1255, 1254. Couldn't get quite up there, and then so I took a short. I initiated a short, very small size here, but my risk was about 4 cents. So my risk was 1256, right around here. So as you can see, that was a real tight stop. And if I did hold down to here, my target was 1210, actually 1211. But I did get a nice wash here. I know this is kind of end of day, so it didn't give the opportunity for a nice clean move. However, Washington, that first one, this was actually about 2.5 R, I believe this was. Came back up. I almost got stopped out here. Hand was on the buy trigger. I was watching 1216, 1270, just because we did take some off here, so the risk was reduced, and then came back through, and then I didn't get filled at 1231. I adjusted, so I just took a little bit more off, and then once again just adjusted another one just to lock in the rest of it for end of day. Didn't want to keep an eye on it, but overall it was a pretty good day. Green day. A couple things to really focus on, I think, are going to be taking some subpar setups. I'm not happy with some of these trades that I took. This one's consolidation. So is this one really. I like to see a clean rejection and stuff, and then kind of extension back down. This one I'm actually happy with, except for the volume. EQOS was a good idea to get back in there. And overall, like this one wasn't super clean, just kind of volume. So I did get a couple of criteria met on a lot of them, but I didn't get all of them, so they weren't A+. So that's kind of what I want to focus on. One thing I am happy about is paying attention to levels as well as volume validation. Sorry. But yeah, overall, that was my trading day today. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll catch you later. Cheers.